Hi guys, Bob Mead, CEO and founder of iQagent. Today I want to do a quick video on getting started with iQagent. This is once you've got the product installed, haven't done anything yet. I want to create a point of interest, add some documents and some data points to it, create a form, add that to the POI. We're going to register and connect with our iPhone and our RealWear HMT-1, scan the QR code, see the POIs, fill out the forms. So let's get started. So I've just completed an installation of iQagent on my test server. The next step is going to be to pull up a browser and access the iQagent configuration tool. So I'll just enter the IP address of that iQagent server, hit enter, and the configuration site loads. So notice we're in the trial version, so if you don't have a license, it limits you to creating 3 points of interest, up to 10 data points, 10 info links. You can create a form, you can register 3 devices. So this is fine for now. I'm going to update our site name here. So I'll just go to admin, choose site, and just call this Odessa. Then I'll go back to POIs. So I'll create a group. We'll just call this group production, and we'll say that it's in plant A. And I could continue to create groups under this, create whatever structure I would like. I could also just choose add POI. So I'll just pick an arbitrary name here, motor 4. We'll say it's on line 1, station 3. The chart type, this is the type of chart that is shown when you tap a live data point. And on our view mode, this is what side of the point of interest comes up when you scan it or choose it from a menu. Data would be live data from your processor, PLCs. Info would be schematics, documents, forms, things like that. So I'm going to default this POI to always show the data first. And I'll just click add. So now we have a point of interest, and I can click it. There's my QR code. And I just need to add some information to this. So we'll start by adding some resources to our info view. And these are the types of resources. You can add a URL, say to a document, a schematic, a movie, or a form. You can upload files, you can enter email addresses, phone numbers, a sticky note, forms, or work instructions that you create in iQagent, as well as augmented reality steps, procedures for the HoloLens. So we'll start with a URL. I can just paste the URL in. It'll automatically extract the in link name. So this is actually a PDF document. We can change this to make it more friendly if we want. And I'll just add a description. Category basically is just like a folder. So if I wanted to add a folder, I could just add this and it would show up on the info view as a folder, and then we could add multiple documents in there. And our open mode, child window just opens it in a small window. For documents, it's better to use reader mode, which is full screen, or we could launch the default browser on the device and show it. So I'll leave it in reader mode and just click add. Now we can test this just by clicking the value link, and here's our document. Next, I'll just upload a file. This is for those customers that don't have a document management system, like say SharePoint or something like that. So here I'll just go choose a file. And here's a parts list. And I'll just kind of pretty up the name here. I'll just say this is version 4.5. We'll also add it to our technical documents category, and I'll just choose add. I'll also add a video. So this is our iQagent commercial video. And I'll just leave that on root. I want to choose a category, and I'll just click add info. And I'll add a sticky note. So let's say that we need to know the serial number and it's not in a convenient place. And so we're just going to make it easy to find the serial number for this. And I'll add an email link. And we'll just click add. For our data view, you can see we can add OPC-DA, OPC-UA, ODBC points coming from a database. We also have a data simulator, so you can put together a proof of concept very quickly. So I'll just choose OPCDA, and we're going to choose a local or remote. This is installed directly on our iQagent server. We're using Kepware. And they have a simulator with some data, so I'm just going to choose a few of these simulated points. And we can click on these and give them more friendly names. So let's just say this is speed. So that would be in RPMs maybe. We can choose a low and a high range. We can choose a color for our chart if we would like. And since this is a string, we'll just call this something like recipe step. And for this one, we will call this temperature. So for our units, we might choose degrees. And we'll say the range goes up to 212. Maybe make that color. And just click update. If we wanted to add a simulated point, I could just grab my simulator, choose what type of point we want. And we'll just have it randomized between 0 and 3. This is fine. So now we have a point of interest. What we need to do is just hook up a mobile device, scan this, make sure the POI comes up, make sure we're all connected, and then we'll go create a form and add it to this POI. So I want to register my iPhone so that I can look at this point of interest in the iQagent app. So I'll go to Devices, and I'm just going to move this over, and I'll launch iQagent. So I just downloaded this from the store. It's in internal mode, and notice my token down here. This is the token I need to register so that this phone can connect to this iQagent. So I'll do Add Device, and I'm going to add this token in here. And I'll just choose the type of device that it is. This is. And I'll click Add Device. Now on the iPhone, I'll tap the settings and I'll go into host and port and I'll enter in the IP address, and that's going to be the same IP address where I've installed iQagent. And I'll just do test connection, and it's connected. Notice now that we're in connection mode live, so it automatically sets that for you. And I can test this just by tapping groups. I'll see my group there, and I can pull up the point of interest. I can also go back to my home menu and just choose scan and scan the QR code right off the screen. There's my trend screen. And I can tap my info button. And there's my technical documents. That's that category. So if I tap it, you can see both of the documents that I put under technical documents. So there's my Siemens manual. There's my parts list. And I can tap my email address, send an email. Or I can tap my video. So we've got our iPhone connected and we can see our point of interest. Next, we're going to add a form to our point of interest and hook it up using the Forms app. We'll also register our RealWear and see what it looks like on that device. So to create our form, we'll go back to our config tool and click on Forms, and I'll just choose New Form. So this is a drag and drop interface. All the controls that you can use are here on the right hand side. And for the first one, you can just click it. And the control comes out and you click the gear icon to configure it. So we'll just call this inspection report. And let's say we want to add, say, an icon. I can drag it or click it. And we want to upload an image. We'll just choose the iQagent logo. And it's kind of big, so we will make it smaller and align it in the center. And we want it on top, so I can just kind of drag it up. Maybe add a horizontal rule between this. So the next thing we want is our inspector name, so we'll choose a text box. And for our default value, there we go. And we'll make this required, and we'll include it in the report summary. So we'll probably also want a date. So I'll choose date, just click that, it'll add it. And I configure the text. And then we'll add a question. So I'll choose a radio group because it only allows one answer, and so we'll just make the question, do you see an issue? And so for our options, I'll choose yes. And this green means that yes is the default answer. So you can see it's checked here, so I'm just going to make there be no default answer. So if they see an issue, we need to know what the issue is. So we will just add a select box. So we'll give them a couple of issues. Too noisy, missing parts. I'll add another one, not running. We'll also allow them to take a picture of the problem and annotate, so we'll use an annotation control. Just click that. We'll make sure that yes is checked on allow user to upload image. You can put a static image in here if you want. And then we'll just add a signature block. And a submit button. Now we'll save our form. And click update. So I wanted to put a couple of display rules on this form. When they answer the question, do you see an issue? If they choose yes, then I want them to see these two controls. If they choose no, I don't want them to see it. So that's where our display rules come in. So on the control I want to show or hide, I just click my display rule and choose the question. So in this case, do you see an issue? And if they choose yes, then this display rule will be true and they will see the control. So we'll also do one on the annotation control. And we'll say, do you see an issue equals yes. So we're going to save that again. And then go to our preview. So you can see we're not seeing those controls. But when I choose yes, it shows them. When I choose no, it doesn't. So we will go back to the form creator. And now we want to link this form to our POI that we've created. So I'll just choose the POI's link. I'll navigate to our point of interest, and under add I'll choose form. Under choose a form I'll select my new form. You can see a preview there. We can also pre-populate some fields. So for inspector name I'll just pre-populate my name and then just choose add info. So let's see what our form looks like on our iPhone. We haven't set up the Forms app yet, so I'm going to open the Forms app. And notice that we've got a different token down here, so we're going to need to register that first. I'll go to Devices, Add Device, and enter that token. Choose iPhone. And just click Add Device. Now in my host setting, I'll need to add the IP address And I'll just tap test connection and we're connected. That's great. I'll go back to the home page. Now what I want to do is open iQagent and I'll go back to my POI so the QR code is showing and we'll scan it and see what our form looks like. So I'll choose scan, flip this over, there's my form. Now it's asking if I want to open it normally, which would be in a browser, and that would be fine on a form because this is kind of a small form here. But I'd like to open it in the Forms app, so I'll tap it again and choose Open iQagent Forms. So once the form is downloaded, it'll just open this copy and I'll press begin. So the Forms app does a couple of things for us. It gives us the form one question at a time, so on smaller screens like an iPhone or RealWear, it's a lot easier to deal with one question at a time. It also allows you to save this form and fill it out while you're offline, and you can save your work and come back. The middle button, this jump to, I can jump to any place in the form that I want, so in case you're just kind of skipping around. Or you can just use your navigation buttons down here, previous and next, to walk through the form. So that's what we'll do. So you can see it's pre-filled my name in here. I also have the option of scanning a barcode, so maybe I've got a barcode with my username on my employee badge or something. I could just scan that as well. I'll pick a date. Then I'll answer the question, do you see an issue? And I'll choose yes. And then the next step is choosing a description, so I'll just say not running. And I'll take a photo, so I'll press the camera icon, take a picture, and then I'll press the little pencil icon there so that I can draw directly on this. And I'll go next, and it'll just ask me to sign. And then there's my submit button. So it's going to submit this into the database. iQagent sits in the plant. This can go into SQL Server, whatever database you've chosen, and then you can integrate your form results directly into your plant systems. So we also use this for work instructions and things like that. All right, so that's what a form looks like on the iPhone. So now let's take a look at how we would connect the RealWear HMT-1 unit. So here's my RealWear Explorer. We're going to go through the same steps that we did with the iPhone. My Programs, iQagent. So you can see we're in internal mode and there's our token, so I need to register this token. So I'll go to Devices, I'll add another device and just type that token in. And I'll choose Android and add device. So we also need to switch our mode. My settings, network, host name. So we're going to enter in the same IP address. OK. And we'll switch to live mode. And you can see we've got a successful connection already. Main menu. And you can see we're connected. So now let's set up the Forms app. Navigate home, My Programs, iQagent, Forms. So we've got a token here that we have to register. And if you look, we've only got 3 devices because we're in trial mode, but no problem. What I'll do is this token here, and I can just change it to my RealWear one. And just choose Save. So that way now this form can connect. Settings. So we have to enter the IP address in. Close keyboard. So we don't have to enter a username and password unless we've set up iQagent's IIS server to require credentials. So now we can just test our settings. Test connection. Main menu. So now let's scan our POI. We'll go back to iQagent. Navigate home, My Programs, iQagent. And I'll pull up our POI so we can see the QR code. Scan POI. So there's our data points. I can speak the names to add them to our chart. Rejects. Speed. Or here I can use this command to go to the info view. Flip view. So first let's take a look at a couple of documents. Technical docs. Capacitor parts list. Zoom level 3. Freeze window. Navigate back. Navigate back. Page down. iQagent commercial. So there's our video. Video stop. So let's look at our form now. My equipment inspection form. So it's automatically going to open the Forms app. It'll download the form if you don't already have it, and then it'll start a copy, and we can change this name to be whatever we want. And then just say start. So just like on the iPhone, I can jump anywhere. I can use my previous and next commands to navigate through this. Jump to. So here's a list of all our stuff. I could just say the name and go wherever I want. Inspection report. Next step. So my name's already pre-populated. I don't have to enter that. Next step. Next step. Yes. Next step. Show options. Not running. Next step. So here we're going to take a photo. Take picture. Take photo. Now on the RealWear I can't really annotate because it doesn't yet support gestures, so I'll just go to the next one. Next step. Submit. So now it's going to upload to the server. Now once these forms have been downloaded, we can go and fill them out any time, even if we're not online. We would just go to the main page, navigate back, and I can go to the My Forms tab. And if I want to fill this out, even if I'm not connected to the network, I can just say the name of the form to start a new version. My equipment inspection form. And it'll allow me to start or update it or whatever. Cancel. Navigate home. So that's what iQagent looks like on the RealWear device. If we want to see the results of those two inspections being filled out, we can go back to Forms. But we've got our submissions. And so I can go look at the different submissions that we've created. And these are also sitting in our database, so we can integrate them with our plant systems. If you'd like to get a copy of iQagent Enterprise for your plant, just go to our website at iQagent.com. Under Demo, go to Get iQagent Enterprise. Fill out the form, and I will send you a copy. You can also visit iQagent's YouTube channel to view lots of videos on our products. Okay guys, that's all I've got for today. I hope this video was helpful. If you have other questions, please visit iQagent.com, or you can email me directly, bob.meads@iQuestcorp.com, or give us a call. We look forward to hearing from you.